Hey guys, this is the Bolshevik bringing you a map tactic video for Erlenberg. So we're going to look at a replay of a game that I played recently in my E100. But before we get to that, I want to talk about the map itself. It's been in the game for a long time, and it has been unchanged for about as long. However, I still see people playing it wrong really often, so figured I'd start with this one. Um, this is actually Assault, so it's kind of different. But if this were a standard battle, the cap for the northern spawn would be located around the green one here, and the cap for the southern spawn would be located near the red one there. So my take on this map is that you need to stay on the side of the map that your cap is located on. This is because there are those hills on both sides. The western flank has the castle area, and there are hills all along, and then there's a small hill with a little house on top in C2. And on the eastern flank, you've got same kind of hills with a road running through them and a couple of houses. So by staying to whichever side of the map that your cap is on, you're going to be able to defend it much easier if the need arises. So say if if this were a standard battle and I had spawned in the south, my cap would be here, and so I would be traveling this way to push these eastern hills. So if the cap gets pushed, then I can quickly retreat using the road for faster movement, and then using those hills in H9 to take shots at the enemies on cap, because that hill gives you a direct line of fire towards the cap circle. Likewise for the other cap, the C2 area allows shots on the northern cap as well. So for both sides of the map, I think which side of the river you should go to is really dictated by the spawn you get and which side your cap is located on. So because this is Assault and I'm defending, the cap is actually on the eastern side of the river. So I'm going to be traveling to the D9 area, and I'll make my stand there. This way, if the cap gets pushed or the other side loses, I'm not too far and I can fairly quickly retreat towards it. And otherwise, I'm going to be defending the choke point that protects the approach to the cap, and that's actually a really critical location as well. So let's go to the replay. If we look at the teams we've got in this matchup, it's fairly standard. You can see that there's an equal amount of heavy tanks on both teams. The enemy team has more TDs, while we have more mediums. That's actually a bit of a disadvantage for the other team, since they're attacking and they've got a lot of TDs. That makes it a bit harder. Other than that, nothing really special to talk about. 2 RDs per side is fairly standard. And both teams have 1 light tank. Right. I'll speed this up as I get into position. So you can see here that I'm moving up to the corner. Quick word on positioning on this map. The location that I'm currently in is probably where you want to drive your heavy tank on this map if you're going to be fighting on this side from that spawn, because it allows you to duck in and out of cover fairly effectively, and it's going to be the main axis of attack that your enemies are going to take. So it's pretty important that you hold that position. The place where the friendly T-71 is located is where I would probably go if I was driving a medium tank or a light tank. It allows you to peek over that hill to get spots on the advancing enemies down there. And then the mirror locations to my position and the T-71's is the top of that hill right there, where you're going to see a bat shot appear in a couple seconds.
We've been located.
So I take a bad shot at that IS-7 and miss, and there's the bad shot. So you see that the top of that hill is also a pretty important location, not for this team, but for the enemy team. It's going to allow the bad shot to get spots for his artillery and also for his tank destroyers that are going to be camping in the trees way back there. The other position that's kind of important is that hill right there that the friendly 183 is currently heading towards. That's where the north spawn TDs are going to camp most of the time. So that's about it for positioning on this side of the map. Now you can see that the enemy IS-7s seem to be heading up the hill, which is a rather curious decision. Because the IS-7 has pretty poor gun depression, he's going to be hard-pressed to get shots from there without completely exposing his tank. So I'm peeking out, trying to get spots on enemies here, and I spotted JP.
We need to change our position.
Hit him for 750 damage, and get back to cover.
We've been located.
Bounces return shot. E50 is actually taking hits from that IS-7.
We've been located.
Try to hit the Conqueror, but bounce. So here I'm actually reloading an HE shell because I was hoping to use it against that Conqueror because he's on pretty low health. Figured it might work, but he gets blown up before I can fire my shot. So I try to hit the 268 with it, but I just hit the ground and splash it for 7 points of damage, which is pretty bad. Already misses us. You can see now, if you look at the minimap, that there's an enemy E100 advancing down the middle. This can be a problem. However, because we're currently holding this position, we can't really leave to take care of it.
We are wide open.
Because my tank is currently the one thing that is anchoring the enemies at this corner. If I move to counter the enemy E100, I'm going to leave that corner.
We need to change our position.
And all those enemy tanks are going to roll up really quickly. You see that the bad shot is exposed. Peek out to take the shot at.
Commander, they know where we are.
34 tries to hit me, but only tracks me. So the enemy E100 is taking damage, which is really good. If my team had failed to react to this guy, we could have lost the game.
Damn, they see us.
Bad shot. Here I reload an HE shell again. I'm pretty sure this was a complete accident. And this is where it gets funny. There's an enemy 268 that's going to rush us and try to take us out, but he's going to fail pretty miserably. Here he comes. Tries to come and clear the map. But honestly, he only really rammed himself. Fire my HE shell at the side of the IS-4 for only 200 damage. Block the 268 as he tries to move behind me. Give him my gun so that I don't take damage from that shot. Now he has a clear shot at my lower plate though, and he's going to penetrate. Breaks my engine as well, and I immediately repair, so I can lose reverse speed because I see that there are two tanks in front of me. Take out the 268. I see that the IS-4 is trying to get my side, so I need to take him out next. And now it's pretty much in the bag because we're defending, we have more tanks, an IS-7 and a T-34. And they're both in my face, and I'm pretty confident at this point that I'm going to be able to take them out. T-34 is showing exposed hull.
We've been spotted.
Kill him. And now, all that's left to do is to kill the IS-7. So, I didn't have to return to base to defend, which is nice. But if I had to defend, I would have been able to do so relatively quickly, because I was near the base.
The enemy's artillery has spotted us.
So, that's pretty much it for this. At this stage, this is completely experimental. If you guys like this, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the video, if that was helpful or not, and let me know if I should change anything about the format or anything. Yeah, that's about it.